My name is Adeem Younis. I'm the founder of the UK's largest Muslim website called singlemuslim.com. And I'm also the chairman and the founder of Penny Peel, which is an international NGO, non-government organisation. It's one of the fastest growing charities in the UK, and we work in over 30 countries worldwide. We're also Guinness World Record holders for the charity as well. And most recently, we've been doing a lot more work domestically here at home. The main challenge that we had in the community, and I think that we still have in the Muslim community, is how do you find suitable and compatible marriage partners? In the Islamic faith, similar to in the Christian faith, in the Jewish faith, free mixing is kind of frowned upon. You don't have that opportunity to meet people of the opposite sex, basically. How do you find somebody? How do you meet people? How do you get to know somebody? It's very, very difficult. I think the only time you meet people is really on births, on deaths and on marriages. For me, it was a very, very easy solution. So the modern day solution was bringing that online onto an online platform. So singlemuslim.com seemed to be the natural solution. It's a profile-based matrimonial only website where you register a profile of yourself. So the only prerequisite, I guess, is that you're a Muslim, and it's been phenomenally successful because of that very reason, because the biggest challenge for us Muslims in the UK is really how to find somebody who's suitable and compatible, how to then, how you're going to marry somebody, and then how you're going to keep married. The idea really started when I had no money. I had no idea in terms of how challenging, and I think part of it is being naive, not knowing what the real challenges are in the real world. So in my background is kind of design and marketing. So what do? You just set up a website and you kind of start throwing the idea around in terms of this is what I'm doing, and ask your family and friends and people who are in the community. So people that I spoke to and people that saw the need and saw what I was doing were really on board, and they were kind of sold to the idea. And in fact, they knew it was the only solution. And people that knew that were like, fantastic, this is a dream come true for us, this is a dream come true for our search. However, there were people that were thinking, what is all this about? I remember my auntie, bless her, she invited me to her house and she said, I've heard that you're helping people get married. And at that time, I wasn't married myself. And she was like, what on earth do you think you're doing? You're meddling with our tradition, you're meddling with our customs and how we do things. So, don't be doing this and da-da-da-da-da. And she just like sent me out of her house. And within about 6 months, she asked me to come back to her house again. And I thought, oh my God, last time it was verbal, this time it might get physical. And I was like, yes, auntie. And she says, oh, do you want a cup of tea? Let's have some biscuits, bring Adeem some of this cake. And, Adeem, how are you? How's your education and how are you getting along? And I'm like, wow, auntie's changed her tune. She's like, I'm trying to find my son someone to get married to, and I'm having a lot of problems and I want you to help. Can that machine of yours help? Because obviously my uncle worked in a factory, so she thinks of the internet and online being this machine. She says, Adeem, can that machine of yours help? Because we need to get him married. And sure enough, I spoke to her, I spoke to my cousin, and we got him on the website. And within a few months, he was married. And that was thanks to the machine, as she calls it. We set up in 2000, so at the digital boom. And back then it was very, very difficult in terms of there wasn't the idea of Google, there wasn't the idea of YouTube. So back in the day, we were kind of guerrilla marketing in college campuses, in university campuses. I remember the Million Man March in London. So it was an anti-war demonstration, and there was me and a group of friends, quite literally had to beg and borrow people to come with me. We printed at Staples on an A4 sheet of paper, and we kind of, with guillotine, we cut out the little leaflets. And we were there at the anti-war demonstration saying, make love, not war, handing out single Muslim leaflets. There you go, make love, not war, make love, not war. And people are like, what are you doing here? And I was like, look, you guys, it's how do you find a captive audience? How do we find a place where we're proactive? And there's a faith-based, there's a group of Muslims that are there who are, taking charge of what they believe in and going and proactively going to a demonstration what they believe in. And that was really our target audience. As I say, my kind of mantra in business is success breeds success. So as soon as we had success couples, people came to us and said, look, we've married on the website. We got married last week, we got married last month. We profiled those individuals. That profiling really enabled us to build on the success within the city. So, maybe in Birmingham, in London, in Swansea, in Glasgow, we had couples up and down the country that were meeting each other, getting married, having children. And it was like, yeah, let's shout about this, let's tell the world about this, that this is not just a website. Actually, this is a website that's full of real people, genuine people, and people, compatible people like yourself who are looking for suitable, compatible marriage partners. Literally at the end of your click, at the end of your fingertips, there's 2 million people. That's unheard of, you know. And I say to people, you don't need to get married to 2 million people. You only need to find the one. And it's difficult, it's challenging, and sometimes people get spoiled with choice, but it does work, and that's why we are so successful. So after about a year, we were still trying to, you know, find our feet. You know, I was totally skint. Whatever money I spent on marketing here, designing these leaflets, and, you know, trying to get this thing off the ground. And it was almost like pushing against, you know, something. It was an impossible task. But we were in Bradford, and we were again doing guerrilla marketing. So we stood outside with these homemade leaflets and handing these leaflets out. So this big kind of like gladiator type figure came over to one of my friends and said, who's responsible for this website? I thought, oh my God, we're going to be in for such, because people didn't understand it, and it was like, you know, what are you doing? So my friend goes, it's him over there. And I thought, okay. I was actually getting ready to, you know what I mean, get smacked. And he came over to me, and he put this big smile on his face. And I was like, okay. And he's like, are you the person that set this website up? And I said, I am, yeah. He said, can you remember this event? And I was like, yeah, I think I can. He goes, I was at that event. I got one of your leaflets. I registered on your website, and now I'm married. And he gave me this almighty hug. And I was like, oh, thank God, you know, it's a hug and not a punch in the face. And that for me was it. That was it. From then, it was just like, just give me such an internal boost. I was just like, this works. It works. And from that day on, you know, 17 years on now, every time we hear about a success story, every time I hear about people getting married, every time I hear about people having children that are, you know, as a result of the website, I'm like, wow, do you know what I mean? It gives me that such an internal boost, and it's just amazing. It just kind of sends goose pimples up my back, and I'm like, wow, you know, this is what it's all about. It's about happiness. It's about creating love. It's about creating marriages. It's about creating happy couples, and it's about creating legacy as well, because, you know, these individuals, they're going to get married, they're going to have children, their children are going to get married, and so on and so forth, and just imagine that legacy that we're creating from that.